Hey everybody, and welcome to Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson. I am your guide for today, and I will be channeling a few messages through. There isn't a message for the 26th of August, but I'm going to bring that up later on, and you'll understand why there's a bit of a secret around all of that one. So just hang in on my video until that message comes through. You'll understand what I'm talking about then. The other messages were channeled through on the 27th and the 29th of August. Today is the 29th of August. I should upload this either today or tomorrow, probably today. I'm also going to go through the full moon week, either side of the full moon that's just been, because of such profound changes. I might even channel some messages through for you. This is my artwork as well that's behind me. This is a new earth scene that I wanted to share with you. I did this one years and years ago as well. I created it years ago. Very Palladian like when I felt into that in my 20s. This is a so we've got, I have to point this way. So we've got a little dolphin in the sea, and he's teaching the children. Really hard to point when it's back to front. And he's teaching the children. We have the spirit balls that are up there, and talking to this fella over here. So there's this interaction of not just physical form, but also spiritual form. And I feel that this energy is coming to Earth, that we are going to be creating these. I know on Pallades, when I was there, they had the big pillars, very Greek-like, Roman-like, the very big pillars, and the, beautiful scenes, and the tunnel that goes into the ocean, into the inner worlds as well. So yeah, pretty excited about this one. I'll move so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, so that is a piece of my artwork too, called New Worlds. So let's get into these channel messages that I have written down. First one is 27th of August. Very short one here. Acceptance is the key to love. Felt that was so profound. Needed to say it, needed to write it down, even though it's very short. The reason why is because of something that I have actually felt into when I had the journey of going through oneness. And you can look this up on my website. It's also on my YouTube. I've told the story about my actual own journey 2 years prior. Wanted to know what oneness felt like. I was told 2 years prior, you'll need to take some sort of medicine or substance, and I never did anything like that. It took 2 years for me to finally come to that point where I could accept with no fear this substance that helped me guide me through an amazing 24 hours of letting go of everything that I was. And I've noticed that everything that I was letting go of in that one night, this is the 28th of March 2020, has happened since then. So I'm at the end stages, and I'm getting really excited for my future now, because at the end of that peeling away layer of who I thought I was, of the programs and everything that I thought I was, and the fears that came with all of those programs that actually created the program on who I thought I was, slowly just started falling away. And my own self-support, my own self-love had to really come into play. Then I met oneness. Now, when I was in the reality of, or the vibration of oneness, and I had realized that I'm the creator of my own reality, acceptance was big thing. Acceptance was the thing that I felt that was the love of all. And hard to explain unless you're really there, but it's like you then see everything through that acceptance and love of who you are, that you've created everything. How magnificent you are, how amazing you are, and how you can shift anything that you desire. So very exciting stuff. Had to at least write that down and bring that up. The 29th of August, this was something that I just channeled this morning. Enlightenment is a journey of self-discovery. It is a realization at every moment of what feels right for you and what doesn't. Where do you want to go? Take the best feeling you've ever had and imagine that you are there all the time. Now, I'm meaning the best feeling. I don't care whether you think it was because you were on a substance or drug, medicine, whether it was straight after sex, you get that rush of being completely in the moment, whether it's through meditation, whether you were sitting on a field and you saw your family around you and you thought how blissful and you felt the sun on your face, and whether you were on a holiday, whether you were a child, a small child, and you had this beautiful feeling and you felt it wash over you. That's the feeling that we're going to. And I know this 100% because I have had an experience of being taken to the potential of humanity. And this was after I held the hand of a Cherokee elder, and she talked to me for over an hour telepathically, and I went home knowing that I can see into these other dimensional places and have lots of visitations, and decided to take that experience and say, hang on a sec, what is the potential of humankind then? What is our potential? So they took me on this journey of where our potential could actually end up, and the feeling, all the amazing, magnificent things that could happen in that potential definitely existed. We're talking telepathic, telekinetic, all of those instant manifestations, all of that. But the most amazing feeling that I had was the stillness, this feeling of acceptance of everything and who I was, and the power of that, the power of who I was, the magnificence of who I was. And that's where we're going to. That's the feeling. So this is kind of a channel message about that. So take the best feeling you've ever had and imagine that you are there all the time. You can't get there by taking anything outside yourself, because outside influences will always have control over you. Therefore, the good feeling is only fleeting. So say, for instance, you're now thinking of a feeling that you had when you were high on some sort of drug or something. You can't keep taking that drug because it will chew you up, and your soul will want to go to that experience, and you won't be able to bring it into this reality and bring it into the 3D physical plane that you're in. Your soul will just want to escape, and your body will slowly die. It is only fleeting when you take an outside substance. So what we're doing, and how they taught me, is to we have to go inside and feel it from the inside out, rather than look outside and grasp for it there, because that is only fleeting. But if you make the changes you're searching for from the inside, you can get there by looking closely at every moment, at what makes you feel closer to that feeling and what doesn't. Ask yourself how and why you react when things don't go your way, as this is very important. A reaction is not accepting and trying to quickly control the reality and you're in out of fear, which is lack of self-support, a feeling that you're not powerful, that you can't create the life that you wish, and so you just react and try to shift it outside of yourself. So what we're trying to do is we're seeing that you're doing that, you're trying to shift something outside. Okay, so now bring that feeling back into yourself and go, where's that lack of, where's that feeling that I needed to didn't feel like I trusted my outside reality anymore? Where's the lack of trust within me and the power that I am, that I can shift something outside? Say somebody is coming up to you and they're being, quite mean or something, and you feel like it's imposing on your energy and you can't stop them from being mean. They're going to keep doing that. So then what I do is I look inside myself to see, okay, my reaction was there. So now there's something in me that's lacking, that I've allowed that energy to come in to face me, so that I can see what I'm lacking in me. Why do I feel like I need that sort of response? Why do I feel like my soul needed to take me to that story, bring those people into my reality? And I might say, well, you know what? I wanted to have a peaceful life, but do I really deserve that peaceful life? Do I really believe that could really happen? All of those doubts were starting to creep in. I'm like, oh, wow, I see where the doubts are. And then when I step into me going, yes, I do deserve to have that peaceful life. Yes, I do deserve to only bring in people that help me create that peaceful life. That's what needed to be shifted. And so I'll just sit and quiet, still my mind and go, what do I really want? Where do I really want to go? Do I deserve that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I keep telling myself, yes, I do. So by trying to control something outside yourself while you're still feeling this fear can create the same outcomes over and over. So your strength lies in taking responsibility to accept your circumstance, is showing up outside yourself for what you don't like with inside yourself. So you can choose to shift your alignment to what feels better for you and trust the falling away of anything outside that isn't in alignment. So you might go through moments of release. And it's going to feel painful when that person, idea, thing falls away, until you remember, you know where you're going. You're going towards this good feeling, remember. You're going towards the feeling that makes you feel really good inside. And that's how we're going to shift out of this reality and into creating more and more beautiful realities. If you really think about it, all these outside influences that are bombarding us and everything. If for instance, they're showing me like the world, and we have trillions of people, or millions of people, billions of people, on the world. And then they're showing me like one person getting this, understanding this and moving towards their best scenario of who they are and the feeling that they have within themselves of feeling so good. And it's kind of like they're showing me like it's like the opposite of a bruise on an apple, where it just bleeds out, because other people will see them becoming more and more of who they are authentically, and that they're having a very good life. And then they go, hang on a sec, what are you doing that's different? And then that person teaches them, hey, you got to shift this yourself from inside yourself. And it bleeds out, and we become more of that. And our reality doesn't matter if someone's trying to infiltrate, because they become obsolete. It's like the people that are in your reality that have been narcissistic, they go to move on to the next victim. Who's going to be their victim? They focus in on who's going to be their victim. They're not going to focus in on somebody who's not going to give them the lack that they're lacking, the feeling that they're lacking inside themselves, which most narcissistic people, all narcissistic people, leaders included, are lacking. control of themselves. So they're trying to overpower and control somebody else. So if they have nobody that's going to listen to them anymore, their power dies away. You're turning your back on their power because you trust where you're going now. And that good feeling that we're talking about is a direction, it's a path. Even if you did take a drug to begin with to get to that good feeling and feel it, it's just a pathway to show you the direction. It's not the journey. You need to take the inner journey to get to that point in the end. But you can do that. You can absolutely 100% do that. So that's the 29th of August message for today. Now, I'm going to also bring up something else that I channeled on the 26th of August. And this was talking about, it said, if all of humanity stopped doing the job they hated, and this really goes with what I just channeled anyway, but it's going to go into something else. If all of humanity stopped doing the jobs they hated and pursued the jobs they loved, the old hierarchy system would just come crashing down, but a new world we would step into a new world, and it would be one beautiful place. Now, the reason why I left that till last is because what I'm going to do from now on with these messages is, I don't want to be taken off YouTube or anything like that. I want to keep these messages flowing, but I also want to be my authentic self and my truth. And I have these things that I've been holding within me about the energy of what the Cabal's been trying to do to us. And I thought if I put it, without actually saying, I'll put it at the end of my messages or in the middle somewhere. And so without saying that word too much, I'm going to talk about the energy of them and what they've been trying to do. So what I've found is there has been energetic attacks on Australia and New Zealand. There's a reason why they chose Australia and New Zealand opposed to USA. We're talking about the monarchy here, Commonwealth. So that's the core of where their power lies. So if they were going to start off with USA, now USA has guns and all of that, people are holding their guns, but in Australia and New Zealand we don't. Australia is one of the best countries to start off with because we have a very laid back, she'll be right attitude, and it'll all work out in the end kind of thing. So they thought that's a good, there's a good side and a bad side to that though, because if you're in a position where you're just like, she'll be right, it's kind of like your energy is really bringing in the she'll be right reality. But when fear is imposed on somebody who's in a she'll be right sort of attitude, when fear is constantly bombarded at you through media and trying to direct your reality to a certain point of what the TV and Facebook false news and all that sort of thing. I've seen surgeons that have come out and saying what they need to say about everything that's going on, and they've just been shut down, and they're not saying anything but the truth. They're telling people what the hospitals are really going through at the moment, and they're still being shut down. So how can you be shutting down that? They wanted to infiltrate Australia and New Zealand first because of that she'll be right attitude and the fact that we don't have guns. But it's not going to work. I already know that this is a push. They are pushing people into such a discomfort, into so much fear and so much discomfort that they have to look inside themselves for what's going on. They cannot no longer control or trust the outside world, and it brings them in and it makes them start to look at who they are as a reality, as their reality, and what they actually want in this world. We all die. This is fleeting. This body is fleeting. Flowers die. Cats, everything does. Everything has this constant movement of dying, replenishing, growing, seeding, growing, dying, replenishing. Everything in this reality has that. They can try to control your mind, so that you feel trapped and your soul feels like it's not seeking, it can't find love within itself anymore. And they want that to be the essence of their power, so that they can manipulate and use you and your body and your avatar of who you're. It's kind of like a soul comes in, uses the body and the avatar to have an experience, for oneness to experience. They want to be able to control that experience for their own benefit. But oneness is everything. So if oneness is everything, and part of that is that they are the reality of this, unless oneness really wants to experience that, the souls that they have will decline less and less and less and less, and they will get pushed into such a corner of such limitation, just more and more and more limitation, that when they do burst out of this, the power that will come from them of the experience of release into love again, which is their authentic self is love, will be so overwhelming. I think it will be like combustion. I think it would, the cabal and everything would just combust in the end through. Yeah, I never thought of it like that before. Anyway, I'm also going to talk about the full moon. Either side of the full moon, when that happened, was a really powerful energy to, if you weren't creating your potential of what your soul wanted, as you're starting to connect to your soul and starting to realize more and more of who you are. The light workers have probably gone through quite an intense full moon recently, because as we're starting to up our level of connection to our soul, we're starting to realize who we are, where we want to go, what makes us feel good. And then our outside reality is just shaking. It's becoming wobbly. It's becoming, is this really resonating with where we're going? So it's, the full moon really showed up the parts of what you were denying yourself and cleared that away, so people could have been facing off with their challenges of accepting death, accepting separation, accepting the powerful who they are, the power of who they are, stepping into the power of who they are, realizing that they can change their reality by the way they feel. All of those things would have been coming up in this latest full moon and really showing you where you were lacking. And I know for myself, it happened, absolutely. I had a falling away of relationships. Standing in my own strength and saying, this is who I am. I'm no longer going to take somebody else's imposed feeling on who they think I am, their conditioned mind of who they think I am, and because I know who I am, and I'm not going to pretend I'm not that anymore to make somebody else feel comfortable. So I had falling away of all these things. And it was really interesting because after the falling away, after the purging of the relationships dying, I started to see or feel into where I was really denying myself the power that I'd given to somebody else to make them feel better. And this is what many light workers do. This is what many of us do as people pleasing, trying to make things better for everybody else because we only want the best for everyone else and not thinking about ourselves. But that's not stepping into the power of who you are. If you're supposed to be stepping into that power, you are the leader of your reality. And so your reality counts. Your reality is important. Your reality is magnificent. Your reality is the best. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit into other people's perceptions of who you are. Just allow and try to, well, not even try because you can't try, just be that beautiful person that you know you are. I'll leave it with you there. Till next time. Bye.